We're into the bottom half of last season's table now, where we start to look at some of the yo-yo teams of the league. Not as many trophies down this end, but the ones we do have are highly prized. Starting just up the road from our last video, this is Faroe Ball and this is OIF. Their full name is Oitrotafella Fuliafjara, or similar, so I think I'll stick with OIF if that's okay. Oitrotafella you've seen before in NSOI Runavik. It means sports club. And Fuliafjara is similar to, but not precisely, the name of the village in which they're based. Traditionally found playing in red and white, they were founded back in 1946, just 4 years after the first league. They played in the top flight for the first time in 1971, but they did lose to HB 14-1 that year, so it was a tough debut season for them. Fuliafjara is a small village on the east coast of Eysturoy, just a short hop away from the team in the last video, Voicingagöta. It's a busy fishing port, housing just under 2,000 residents. Like a lot of Faroese grounds, the stadium is a stunning scenic location, looking out into the bay from the singular stand. The ground's name, Oiflotureri, or Oiflotureri, I think, translates into action field, but I could be wrong on that. No doubt about when OIF's finest hour came, at the end of the 1979 season, when they won their first and only league title. I can't find any footage of this title or this season, and I've even asked the club directly, so please enjoy this footage of Greenland versus the Faroe Islands in 1983 while I natter away in the background. With 11 wins, 3 draws and so going the season undefeated, OIF took away their biggest prize in Faroese football. Their top scorer that season was Meinhard Daubu, oh there he is, who scored 17 goals in that 14-game season. They've never managed to couple it up with a cup though, despite reaching the Faroese Cup final 6 times, most recently in 2011. They finished runner-up on every occasion. They nearly topped the pile again recently, finishing second in 2011 and 2012, missing out on the title by 4 points each time. Their key to finishing a surprise second in 2011 was Clayton Suarez, a Brazilian striker who has spent his whole career in the Faroe Islands. Starting off at Vua, he joined B71 and scored 108 goals in 150 games, helping them to promotion. After 1 season at Vesta, he joined OIF and scored 22 goals in his debut season, rocketing them into the runners-up spot. He's the only OIF player to win Faroese Player of the Year, and after the aforementioned Meinhard Daubu, he was only the second OIF player to be the league's top scorer. The third OIF player to be the league's top scorer came last year in the form of Serbian striker Uroš Stojanov. He came to OIF last season from the intriguing Ministry of Finance Customs United, swapping Thailand League 2 for the Faroese Premier League. He made an instant impact as he scored 17 goals in his debut season for the club, lifting them from the bottom of the league in 2019 to a healthy 6th place last season. Along with teammate Filip Djordjevic, OIF have 2 of the 8 Serbians in the Faroese Premier League this season. I mentioned this briefly back in the NSOI video, but in 2003, to celebrate UEFA's Jubilee, all European football associations were asked to pick their best player of the previous 50 years to be that country's golden player. England went with Bobby Moore, Italy had Dino Zoff, Netherlands went with Johan Cruyff, Portugal Eusebio, Hungary Puskás, and alongside all those names was the Faroese golden boy Abraham Lurkin, who was born in Fuliafjara and had 5 separate spells with OIF during his 26-year playing career. His sons, Carl and Boggy Lurkin, both currently play for OIF, but between them they've had 7 different stints at the club. Back in 1986, English club Chester City took their first and last overseas tour when they played 3 teams in the Faroe Islands, HB, OIF, and a team called B86, which I can't find any further record of. Back in those days, the Faroe Islands were entirely alcohol-free, save for a couple of places that would know how to sneak a pint to you. Somehow, before their game with OIF, the squad managed to find some wine and teamed it up with some vodka they'd smuggled, ending up causing a bit of a raucous at their hotel. When the police turned up, Chester manager Harry McNally was in his underpants, trying to escape up the chimney. Despite all this chaos and a player waking up hungover in a field the next day, they still managed to beat OIF 2-0. OIF fans aren't going to like this. They have a bit of a history of following up a good season with a bad one, and 2 of their last 6th placed finishes saw them go down the year after. Stability in the dugout is not a buzzword at the club either. In the last 20 years, OIF have had 23 managers, some of them operating as joint managers with their predecessors. With teams wise to the scoring prowess of Stojanov, I don't see them doing as well as they did in 2020. I'm going for 9th place, the relegation playoff spot, which they should win. And that is OIF. Thank you very much for watching, extra thanks to those of you who have subscribed and keep coming back, and I'll see you next time for EB Strema.